Hello, everyone, and welcome to me as I adjust our Zoom thing, since I realize I just added another box to it, so therefore I have to fix the thing. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Luminous Beings. I'm supposed to start with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but I didn't because I was overwhelmed. Welcome to another exciting stream here on the Long Lost Lore channel. This is our Star Wars game about the mysteries of the Force, set 5,000 years before the original trilogy, in a time before the Sith had emerged. That is where sort of, if you saw any of last week's session, featuring our truly amazing special effects. This is the best.
We're a very high budget channel here.
Really is one of the highest budget channels any of you have ever seen. So we're actually we're gonna jump right into this, and then we'll sort of get on to sort of our usual lead-ins and such later on, talk about all our other shows. I'll do a brief recap of what happened last time. A group of kind of two sets of different explorers are seeking a mysterious planet called Lost Ord. One of the groups is a pair of Chiss twins. They're playing their cards close to their vest. They do seem to have a starfighter from the Chiss ascendancy in their possession, but they have booked passage aboard another ship so that they can make their way to this mysterious planet, trying to find something that they have not disclosed to anyone else. On the other sort of also booking passage aboard this ship is Boz Cramey. Oh, I guess I should say the Chiss's names. Layala, and who is a mechanic, and Lauke, who is a pilot. We also have Boz Cramey, he's not immune, he's a Mune scout, as well as Isdark Strauss, a Trandoshan diplomat. They seem to be sort of working together, although they also have their own, personal extracurriculars, but they are seeking Lost Ord for various reasons that they have also not fully disclosed to everyone else. It seems to have something, for Isdark's ostensible reason, involves some kind of hunting rights or something. He's pretty upfront that that's his primary, bread and butter and such, but hasn't had to go too deep.
We have our goals that we are trying to do. So,
there you go.
Whatever we can do to make that happen.
Perfect.
I'm here to help you make it happen.
Well, so with that, friends and neighbors, we're going to start with an invocation, a briefer one today. When the shooting starts, stand behind the Wookiee. The sagely words of Faya Rodamos, a sage of Dwarki. All right. I think at this point just need to preface this by saying I want to be friends with all of you, and I'm very sorry. Lauren, we will start with you.
That is
the Band-Aid off.
All right.
Although the following applies to all of you. You came aboard this vessel. I didn't finish the recap, but cool. We did the thing mid recap. That's fine. You booked passage aboard a ship. The ship was going to take you to this very hard to find location called Lost Ord, but while traveling, you were told that there's going to be some extremely dangerous jumps, and you're going to be pulling real close and slingshotting around black holes and all sorts of stuff like this. And this was honestly a pretty intense experience. I think Layala in particular found it rather tough. So tough, although then things got even worse when the ship, the Avalanche, which I can't even show you because it has been destroyed now. The Lego's gone. And repurposed. The Avalanche was pulled out of hyperspace between systems, a very dangerous spot, by a strange pink lightning storm in space that, shockingly, that was the background Lauren had up last week, and that was just what was there. That's just what she
had no idea.
Truly insane. This lightning storm in space seemed to be stranding you, destroying the ship very badly. You were sort of spinning, but somehow hope appeared in the form of a distant large ship or space station, sort of floating amidst kind of this strange intersystem void. The ship ignited clear signs of clear indicators for rescue, and you managed to get close enough to be tractored into it. Unfortunately, in the crash into the ship's hangar, it seems that both the pilot and co-pilot of the vessel, as well as 2 other passengers, all perished. The 4 of you, however, managed to sort of kind of like climb out of your crash webbing, very carefully climb your way down unscathed. At which point you did meet an individual who was aboard this vessel, of seemingly very kind of like hunched over, hooded figure, referring to himself as Bogle. He suggested that you could come in. He serves Domnul Raidveko, and that you should come in and he will sort of offer you whatever protection you can. He told you that this lightning was very dangerous. He actually then went inside. You all sort of collected your belongings and some belongings of your deceased compatriots. You also checked on the Chiss, went and they prized open the cargo hold, and though there was a little bit of a scratch on it, that vessel that you traveled here in was still intact. However, at this point, the lightning storm seemed to be penetrating even into this hangar, and sure enough, you all rushed toward the sort of a corridor out of the hangar, but in so doing, you were overcome, and I think Boz and Eyestark... Actually, I think Lauke fell first, then Boz and Eyestark. Leala stayed on her feet. She came over to Lauke, tried to pull him back. She was hitting a button to sort of close that passage, at which point strange amber-colored crystals embedded in the walls and ceiling began to sort of pulse very brightly, and Leala, it filled your view. So, now's the part where I say the thing about when the shooting starts, you stand behind the Wookiee. I really messed that up.
Hey, we don't have one here, so we might be screwed.
That's
all right.
Well, hopefully there's
Remind me to bring a Wookiee next time.
Exactly. In any event, Leala.
Yeah.
Be friends with me later. You feel extremely groggy and disoriented. That light is kind of like all you can sort of feel. It's like you had this really bad headache, but eventually, your vision clears. You definitely feel pretty disoriented. But something is clearly wrong with your vision. As you're blinking around, you're not seeing most of what you usually see. And as you sort of take a moment trying to get your bearings, you realize that you were sitting around a dining table set for 6, surrounded by a beautiful sort of 360-degree view. On one side, a sort of a large gas giant ringed planet. You are surrounded by several figures, all of whom also seem fairly groggy. Next to you, so on, let's see, on your right is a red-skinned Zabrak. On your left is a gold protocol droid. Beyond, next to that gold protocol droid, you see a purple-skinned figure wearing a sort of strange mask, and also kind of looking a bit kind of like confused, blinking slightly. Next to that person is a species you've never sort of seen before. They have these long tendrils coming out of the back of their head, and then next to them is an empty seat. And as you look down, Leala, your breath catches for a moment in total confusion as you see that your skin is now purple, and you feel that you have these strange protuberances kind of coming out of the back of your head, and in fact on your forehead. So, with that, I'm going to add a sheet to your spreadsheet. This is called New Leala.
Uh-huh.
What
Welcome to
just
the actual
happened?
game.
Oh my god.
So go ahead and if you will just refresh that. Moving on. Let's see. Some people may sort of have a little bit of a sense.
Did you do this again?
Eyes dark. Well,
you did this
really.
again to me?
Not exactly, because you know who you are.
You did it again, didn't you?
Eyes dark.
So let me bring the chat up to date. No, hold on a minute. We need to bring the chat back up to date on this.
Take a second.
Before we did this stream, we've been doing a dragon-based D&D game before this, where he had us build these epic, amazing characters, and then on the first day after we introduced our characters and said how much we loved them and how amazing they are, he said, "Great, these are the villains of this campaign. Now we're gonna roll the heroes," and we're all like, "Fuck you!" And so now we're doing it again.
Yeah.
God damn
I
it!
haven't gotten to be in any of these games yet.
It's
really
not the
lucky.
same.
You're a good DM, and I enjoy you as a person, sir. Because you're an evil son of a bitch.
It's not the same thing because you're still you. You've just done a little,
Okay. Okay.
I guess actually, in fairness, let me tell you a little bit about new Eyes Dark. Eyes Dark, you also notice there's a strange sensation. You feel, as you look down at your hands, something's wrong with them. One, they're purple. Two, they have 6 fingers on each hand. You are also wearing a heavy mask in front of your mouth.
Bane?
Sort of Bane style, yes. It's not Bane. Let me phrase it like
I was born in the Castle Run.
So I have put this onto your sheet. If you refresh your sheet, you should see a little tab at the bottom that says New Eyes Dark.
I see it. I see it.
You also, though, as you sort of look down, you are wearing, like, serious body armor. You are wearing, like, not a joke, like a full-on combat suit, and it seems much more advanced than anything you've ever seen in your lifetime. It seems much more advanced and just kind of almost like 4,000 years later, what they would have had. So that part's good. Lauke, my friend, as you look down, you also notice
perfectly fine
that your vision seems kind of like wrong. Something is wrong with your vision. You also notice that your skin is red. You feel like kind of like this like dullness around your head. If you reach up, you feel you have horns. Also, Lauke, though, just because I want this to be as eerie and frightening as possible, for a few moments you hear this odd like boom 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 boom.
Oh yeah.
And as you place your hand upon this strange chest, kind of pushing aside weird like claws that seem to be sloshing around with liquid within them, as you put your hand to your chest, you feel not one but 2 separate heartbeats.
It's a perfectly normal day.
A perfectly normal day. It is certainly not for one such as you.
A normal day for long lost Lorians, though, because
That's
that part is
accurate.
true. Boz. Now, Boz, I was so I don't know if you guys have seen this. So what everyone is losing here is your physical and sense stats have been replaced with someone else. Now, Boz Cramy, you did take the observant feat.
Yeah.
So you no longer have the full 109, but I am crediting you a good bit of, so your hearing is not going as low as this Tholothian body in which you now find yourself.
Oh, I thought you were going to make me the protocol droid, thank God.
No, you are, at this point, you feel these odd tendrils, and honestly, it's pretty disorienting as you have this, like, sense that there's, of this extra information behind your head. I'm going to say you have no means of parsing it as of yet, but there's definitely this strong, strange sensation. So that has been added to your sheet. If you refresh, you will find yourself as a new Boz Cramy sheet. I also should mention you have none of your own equipment or belongings. You seem to maybe some of these people, although your sheets actually have a lot of equipment on them, but I should have taken that off because technically they left a lot of their weapons out of here. So we'll sort of get to that as you're doing it. In any case, you all have this moment of disorientation as you're all looking at your hands. The gold protocol droid says, "Is there something wrong? Is something wrong with the food?"
no.
Madam Lyala, why are you... Or, not Lyala, it's not your name in this. Madam Kyra, why are you speaking so strangely?
I just think that it's a little spicy. And I'm just continuing to, like, look
The
for...
droid... Also, and I should mention that Lyala and Lauke, droids are not usual things. You've seen them in your time in kind of like in lesser space, but droids are not a part of the Chiss ascendancy. They don't have them... Kevin can talk about that for another time. Is that they've long ago gotten rid of their droids. But this droid sitting next to you says, "Oh goodness," and it picks up the food that you've been served and starts putting it into its mouth. I am not detecting typical sources of spice.
What happened?
I just get a little sensitive sometimes. And can I, and everybody else is looking at their hands, right? Like,
I'll say everyone's doing the typical, we've gone into a cyber world,
Okay.
so we're all doing this move, yeah.
Is
so I'm
everyone
kind of
else
understanding
tripping
that
balls right
whoever...
now? I am.
Wait, so I'm understanding that these people, I don't know who they are, but I'm seeing that they're...
I'll tell you what, roll a psychology roll.
Okay.
What have you done to me? Why?
So
How is it that we
here's,
are like
here's
this?
Here's a real dick move. Won't go on. Isdark, you go to speak and you feel absolutely no vibration in your throat, as if you don't even have vocal cords. That being said, as you sort of move your mouth within this box, there appears to be some degree of translation. So whatever Isdark was just saying, what all of you hear is like, "What are you done to me?" Like feedback coming out of it.
And I got a 75, I failed.
You got it. Okay, understood. The gold protocol droid. So you're too freaked out to sort of look at anyone else. The gold protocol droid turns to you, Isdark, and says, "Mr. Adelard, is something wrong with your vocoder? Have you consumed something?" And then the protocol droid starts eating off of your plate. "I am sensing no known poisons or antigens." The protocol droid stands up and then walks over to the plates of Boz and Lauke. So basically, this gold droid is now eating the fancy food off of your plates.
Can I look around and just see what's going on in the room?
Sure. Make a perception check, noticing that your eyes and ears all seem a little less sharp. Mainly because you're like your mind is filled by this strange information coming from these tendrils.
47 under 50. So that's a success.
All right, so this is mainly a 360-degree view. With a normal success, you do see that one side of your view seems to be taken up by a bunch of like spires and things very akin to that ship you came in. And in fact, you think you guys are sitting like right here dining. There is one sort of like section of the wall that's kind of blocked off where there's a, like a little like doorway that probably leads to like a lift or something. Standing at that door is a figure wearing a sort of pastel blue and purple robe and a mask that is a gold filigree. You can't see any features, just like a flat sort of mask under the robe. And this figure is just sort of standing there sort of quietly. That is what you see, Boz.
Do I recognize the figure in the robe? Is it the same one? Or is it a different person?
It is not the same.
It's not Bagel.
It is not Bagel. Well, there's a mask on it now. The robe doesn't look dissimilar, though. It looks like a similar robe.
Isdark is completely obsessed with the fact that his voice doesn't sound right. He's like, please, can you fix... What have you done to my voice? This is unacceptable. How dare you do this to me?
With that, Isdark, please make a linguistics roll.
Oh, that is 90. That is going to be a fail, I think.
Then, unfortunately, for the time being, now, if you'd like to, you could spend a force point and re-roll that if it is important to you. But as of now, you're just squawking. It's just a squawk box.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, wait.
I will squawk for a bit.
Which stats changed?
So it should be. I mean, go to your sheet, and you should see that now there is. If you'll have to refresh the page, but there should now be a tab called "Copy of New Boss."
Right. I'm just.
So
which
what has changed
section
is your
changed?
physical and your senses.
All right. So
Everything
mental
else, I
stuff
didn't change the
is still-
combats, but we'll get to all that later.
Right.
So,
With
the gold protocol droid is saying, I don't detect any poisons or other substances in any of your food. It starts drinking all your glasses, and you notice I say eating, it's like it just like rubs the food along its mouth, or like puts a little of the liquid into its mouth. Okay, well, first of all, everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. You have been sitting for too long. You all need to stand up and move a little bit. Everyone needs to move. We need to get your heart rates up.
Stand up.
Would you-
Wait for you to stand up.
Standing up is. What is it, bro? What have you done to my body?
I think I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Remind me why we're here.
Oh, well, you have accepted an invitation, of course.
Oh, right.
Potential
And where is that?
employment.
Oh, yes. Is that invitation by any chance written down anywhere? I'm sorry, my accent just comes out from my childhood.
Madam
home.
Kyra,
That's
Madam
You have an
Kyra,
accent.
I need
What
you
is
to
you?
get on the floor, and I need you to start doing push-ups. I have never heard you speak with this. The only answer to this is exercise. The droid then turns to, at once, Madam Kyra, I must insist for your own good. The droid now turns to Izdark and says, if you are having trouble with your vocoder, Mr. Adelard Dunaire, I can understand your six-fingered sign language.
I punch it in the face.
Cool. Make a brawl attack.
Oh, no. I will stand up immediately when he does that.
Okay.
Mikey.
The fuck is a brawl attack?
It should be
Unarmed
under
combat?
It's a brawl. Or I might have called it unarmed. Sorry. Too many
Unarmed.
systems. Is it unarmed?
That's a fail. That's a fail.
So basically, okay. Well, if it's a fail, then even if the droid will kind of oh my word. Oh dear. Let's actually see what the droid's.
That is my unarmed. That is my six-finger explanation for you. What have you done to my body? Fix yourself. I cannot speak. I have 6 fingers. Why am
I
I
start
blind?
to figure out
It is a very sexy grin. It is
what's
a.
going on? Like, can I tell that Leola is
Wait,
the-
did he speak? Did Boz say something?
Boz is
Yes!
speaking. Yes.
Right.
No, I speaking.
Does anybody know
Why
what's
does
going
no
on?
one understand me?
And does Boz have the same accent, or are his?
Oh, I should change my accent. To body. That's funny.
No, you don't. You don't have to. You
Okay.
could. You guys could all
Alright.
speak in your accents.
Except for Izdark.
Yeah, Izdark can't speak right now. He'll get there soon, I promise. I'm not that sadistic.
So,
They have vocoders
Alright.
for a reason. There's an adjustment period. You're fine.
so I hear Boz's accent right when he speaks.
I'll say you do hear Boz's accent, yes.
Do I have to roll
Anybody
to determine
mind
if I
telling me what the
recognize it?
hell's going on?
No, you can.
Do I know you? You sound like the guy that I was just on the ship with. What was his name? Skinny. He was tall, real thin.
Oz.
Probably
That
slipped
does-
through an airlock. Yeah.
Those sound like me. Yeah.
Yeah, Lyola.
Paul's crying.
Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wait, are you the
Lyola.
blue chick?
Yeah. But not anymore. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh dear. They are all
Which one of y'all
tripping
is
balls.
luck?
The droid walks over to the door and says, I need medical assistance immediately. That
okay.
figure there kind of just nods, looking a little interested and sort of gestures, and a turbo lift opens, and the droid kind of turns back and says, I need all of you to, at the very least, just pace around this room. You need to keep your heart rates up. Do not sit. Sitting is the silent killer. Shh. The servants
I'll
are
turn around and just say, which one of y'all is luck?
Here?
I'll run and go to hug him, but he's strange, and so I'll just pat him on the shoulders and be like, "This is."
Do I
this
have
is not
something on
normal.
my head?
What?
Do I have something on my head?
Yes, of course you have something on your whole body looks different.
What is he saying?
Whoa.
You are not the
I'm-
same person.
I don't know.
No. What have they done to us?
I can't.
All right, but process of elimination. I assume your eyes dark, but you got to calm down, mate.
I just
Can't
walk up
understand a thing
slowly
you're
and
saying.
I just give Boz a look that I've given him a million times.
All right, yeah, I know what that means. All right.
Eyes Dark, speaking of which, would you actually just go ahead and make a culture roll?
That is a extreme success. 7.
Wonderful. Well, with this, goodness gracious, in that case, as you sort of get your bearings, you're hearing about, you're knowing purple 6 fingers, it pops into your mind that the Anomid people can be described as 6-fingered individuals, and with an extreme success, you remember they don't have vocal cords, which means that you probably need to speak much less forcefully for this vocoder, and all you really need to do is like put your mouth on it, and it's not going to be reading any volume, it's going to be purely reading your lip movements.
Okay. Can you understand me now?
You know?
Yes, with that, you hear a voice, kind of like a voice kind of come through.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Apparently now I am an anodid. Which I do not understand why this has happened.
Oil be damned.
Well, they
We are all changed.
apparently think that we're here to do something for them. So do we play along? Do we try to get out of here? Are we still stuck in between galaxies? Where are we?
I do not know.
You see a
like
planet.
one thing at a time, love.
You see a planet outside.
Oh, can I use my
Do I know what Lost Order looks like?
You don't know Lost Ord. Leala, you
Wait a
may
minute.
make a interstellar navigation check. Yes, Eyes Dark.
I'm Anomid. This is what I am. Then what I would like to do is I would like to look at each of them and figure out what they are.
Excellent. Go ahead and make another culture roll then.
It is a what do you call it? A hard success.
And by the way, that's what that's what animates look like. They're pretty rad.
Where? Okay. All right.
With a hard success, actually, you were the most unusual species, and honestly, everyone else, like you see that Boz Cramy is a Tholothian. That's the most sort of like uncommon species here. Lauke and Lyala are actually 2 of the most popular species aside from humans. Lyala is a Twi'lek, and Lauke is a Zabrak.
Bilek and Zabrak. And
Correct.
what is my friend Boz?
I'm a Trilogy.
Boz is a Tholothian.
I thought it was a Philopian. Thought that was very strange.
No, that's a type of tube, mate.
In some species. That's a Tholothian, by the way. I guess I should. Damn camera thing, light. That's what they look like.
You
And
got the like squid-like things on the back of their heads.
and Twi'lek are everyone knows Twi'leks and Zabraks have are Darth Mauls. As
Darth
he's kind of
Mauls?
just what's that?
How do you spell Philopian? With what
Tholothian.
letters?
Here, I'll put it
Tholothian.
into chat here. Sorry. There you go. As
Thank you.
as you're sort of like piecing together, like, okay, so Lyala seems to be this, and you're that. Lyala. Oh, by the way, anyone who has succeeded at any skills, please go ahead and click those boxes. Boz Creamy, you succeeded at a perception.
Right.
Eyes Dark, you
Looks-
succeeded at a culture
That's a look roll, right?
thus far. A luck roll, sorry, yes. Too many systems. Lyala, what did you roll on your navigation?
Failed, but I used a force point to re-roll,
Okay, great.
and I got a 13.
Not a problem in this game. Oh, but actually, good news for you. Please tell me if you ever roll a 77. It's not bad. That's just the significant number for Star Wars, because that's the year the first movie came out. So if you ever roll a 77 and you notice it, let me know, because
What
that's
about
like
66?
That's
that's order 66. That would be bad. But with a 13, no effect in this game. It's just a success. What level of success, actually?
Hard.
Hard. With a hard success, I'm going to say that you spent enough time to have maybe glanced at some charts from lesser space just to have your bearings, because obviously this is not a part of space you're even that familiar with. Mm-hmm. So you don't know the system you're in, but you know that you are in the core of the galaxy. Just based on the brightness of the stars surrounding you. You are like near the core of the galaxy.
Right. And do I know anything about the core of the galaxy? Is that in history, perchance?
It would really not be in history because that's lesser space. The only thing the Chiss care about is like the ascendancy and the chaos surrounding it. But you can make... I'll let you make a general history check.
Okay. No, 56.
Yeah.
Well, it appears that we are near the core of the galaxy, so...
Oh, well, isn't that nice? How did
I
that
don't know,
help
is
us
it?
exactly?
It's not.
No,
Nice.
it's not.
It still makes no sense. How do you just change who we are?
I mean, that's a good question, mate. Maybe we should go about trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Perhaps we should figure out how we can stay alive here before we start discovering ourselves or rediscovering ourselves.
Right. Like where heads at, love. Can I are we along the room now?
There's still
The
that
road
one servant
person.
sort of standing there.
Hello.
Ah.
Do you happen to know a Boggle? We talked to him earlier when we came in. We were wondering what he's doing right now.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on.
The figure sort of like bows to you and like just kind of turns over and hits a couple of buttons on the wall.
Not a very talkative sort, are you?
I should also mention one other thing that is sort of notable about this is the chairs that the four of you were sitting in are large stone, almost thrones, kind of with these like impressive carvings of flower symbols in them. Perhaps you're kind of like just noticing that for the first time. In any case, after a few moments, a bunch of lights begin to beep, and you hear like a whirring in that lift, and the lift opens. The gold droid is there. I'm just so worried about we've got to do something about this. And out from the lift floats a very diminutive alien, hovering about a meter off the floor. She is faintly glowing blue, and she seems to have this almost dream-like way she moves, as if she's underwater. Hello. Is everything all right? Your
No.
droid suggested
No.
you were not feeling well.
You could say we aren't exactly
Please
feeling
forgive
ourselves.
Lord Ryth. He had to step away.
We're just feeling a little off
sauce?
kilter. Mhm.
Oh my. Would you all like to cut this meal short? I can escort you to your rooms. You are
No,
here for a few days if you would like to resume discussions of what's going on tomorrow.
How about we just continue now?
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
Please explain what has happened to us and why.
Well, Lord Ryth will be back soon, and he can continue discussing the potentials of your employment.
We do not desire employment. We have jobs. We have professions. We have
Right,
goals.
he's actually my boss, so that's kind of awkward. I'm already employed.
Eyes
So-
dark. This, and none of you have seen a being like this before. She kind of like hovers over to Eyes Dark, and she says, Master Dunaire, And then she speaks to you in a language you've never heard before.
My name is not Jenner. I am Aizdak Strauss. That is my name. I am Trandoshan by birth, but apparently you have made me Anomid by design.
Oh my.
For what reason have you done this?
Oh my.
Oh yes, oh my.
I am...
Yes, oh my, indeed.
You believe you are...
Believe? No, I
Trandoshan.
spent my entire life as Trandoshan. Green skin scales. I was a hunter of exquisite capability. This was my scout that helped me. I was a diplomat. I had many achievements. But now you've taken all that away from me. Who will believe me? Now, all my accomplishments are gone, thanks to you.
This is...
I hope you
most
have
troubling.
compensation ready for this travesty you have inflicted upon me. Who is in charge here? I wish to speak to the person in charge.
Lord Ryth is in charge. He is not around right now, but I will find him.
I should
please,
hope
just a
so.
moment. She kind of like turns and looks at you all.
We
Is
we
anyone
used to be
else-
fit. Oh,
And I'm like,
Is anyone else experiencing this?
All of us are
we're all feeling a little
Alright.
out of sorts, and we would just like to discuss this with someone.
all of us have been transformed into something we are not.
Oh,
So yes.
4 of you.
Yes.
Well, all right. She kind of just sort of turns back. The gold droid is just like, and she says, "Please wait here."
Do we have a choice?
Of course, as Lord Wright said, there is nowhere aboard the cathedral ship that is not open to you. You are free to go anywhere. If you'd like to come with me to seek him out, you may do so. But I am worried about all of you.
We will wait here for your master to come back and talk to us.
My employer. She just kind of flutters into this turbo lift.
Is the gold droid still in the room with us?
Gold droid is in the room just turning around. Ah,
You can leave too, my friend. There is no need for you here. You have done enough already.
Madam Kyra, is that your request? I mean no disrespect, but I am your droid.
What is he talking about?
Me.
Yes, Madam Kyra.
where'd you get the?
Yeah, why don't you wait outside the door and don't listen unless I call you. What do I call you?
I am Psalm 34, of course. But
Yes.
Wait.
Madam
Could-
Kyra, make sure that you, and kind of like is getting into the elevator as was suggested. Just please keep moving. Everyone try to keep your heart rates at least above
Wait.
110 in these times.
Madam Kara, whatever he calls you. Let's go, droid. Droid, can you tell us who we are and about our lives? You apparently know more about ourselves than we do now.
Yes, go ahead and
Oh
do-
dear.
do that.
Do you want me to tell you this as a general statement or through a lens of the kinds of beverages you are consuming?
Just like kind of an overview of who we are, just as people, as we fit into
Understood.
society.
What did you jump to
want it?
beverages?
So you do want it in terms of beverages. Understood. Madam
Well-
Kyra, you have exquisite taste and are an expert in fields culinary and
Do you know anything about our lives outside of beverages? What we do for a profession?
Yes.
Where we were born? Our parents?
My understanding, Stybla'uk'eanuro, is that you are a scholar of various ancient texts, including the early Sith empires and the sages of Duarte. At least this is what I've primarily heard you speak about.
What is a Sith?
Doom Toronto, you are a... What did you just ask, Madam Kyra?
What? Wait, this takes place long before the Sith, right?
You guys were long before the Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a Sith?
Oh dear. Madam Kyra, please start doing some burpees.
I'm not going to do that. Just continue to tell us about ourselves.
Doom Toronto, who has the worst taste of any of you, is a mechanic. He is obsessed with family.
Who's Doom?
His name is Doom Toronto.
The one with the vocoder.
I point
No,
at Boz.
that is-
Are you talking about him?
Yeah, gesturing to Boz, the Tholothian.
Oh. All right.
You are a mechanic, and you are obsessed with technology and also family for some reason. You never shut up about family. Turns to the Zabrak. Your name is Sanguinary Tembo. You are a hunter, and you appear to be obsessed with a rancor. Your taste in beverages is specific, but not wholly objectionable.
Oh my God! What have you done, Philip?
Who or what is a Rancor?
Wait, are you guys just realizing this part? Oh, wow.
I am.
Oh, amazing. Oh, great. A rancor. Oh, dear. It appears that all of you are suffering severe psychological breaks. Are you sure you want me to leave, Madam Kyra?
No. Why don't you just stay right here and tell us more
For now,
about what's our mission?
officially
Why are we here?
Well, Madam Kyra, you came here to hopefully enjoy a week-long party, but unfortunately it was only the 4 of you guests who arrived, and not the larger group they were expecting. That is why we dined up here in the Spire, which does have admittedly better views than the Grand Hall, although the Grand Hall has its own charm.
But
What kind
thank
of
you,
party
protocol.
were you hoping to attend?
Thank you, Dread. Perhaps you will give us some space now.
Oh, I will give you
Do you,
space after
if
all.
others have questions,
Sorry,
that's
Boz, did
fine.
you have a question as well?
No, I'm just very confused.
Understood. Oh yeah, so you guys just thought I put you in
Yeah.
random bodies? I mean, it was random
Right.
in the sense of, well, the chairs they chose was that. Anyway, the point being, as the droid gets on and just looks at all of you like, oh dear. And I guess I should just mention now that kind of this is dawning on everybody. I'll sort of mention just for context if anyone doesn't know. We have 2 Star Wars games going on. They're set 4,000 years apart. And in the game that's on Mondays, I think everyone's now sort of realizing from what they've heard from the other players, they're in their bodies. So
We're in danger.
So, in any case, you are all sort of like
Man.
very like,
Oh,
but the droid kind of gets on and says, and like the last thing as the doors close, the droid just kind of pushes its sort of gold head just like through the, like not through the gap, but like between the gap, and just says, just keep your heart rate up, just keep moving.
I'm gonna turn to the group and say, I've got a bad feeling about this.
There's definitely nothing good has come out of this.
Give me both up.
I'm an Unomid. You are a Twi'lek.
Do I know what a Twi'lek is?
They are fairly common. Go ahead and make
I feel
a
like
culture roll.
They're common enough.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask the same thing about a Zabrak.
Make a culture roll. I will say neither of you will know anything about them, but you they're fairly common. You never somehow you never saw a Twi'lek. As you catch a glance of yourself in like the mirror, you do see that you so basically Layala. Yeah, you're pretty, but you have no hair.
You said culture?
Culture.
Oh yeah, that's fail.
Yeah, never. You have no idea what these things are. Never seen.
I
them.
know.
Touching
I
my
know
spikes.
what like Sabraks are, and Galothians, and
Yes,
Right.
you can know.
I don't need to
whatever.
roll for that, do I?
You don't need to roll for. You know enough. You certainly know what's the bracket. Tell you what, make a culture roll. Maybe you don't know what a Tholothian is.
All right. 37. I don't know my. Oh, it's a 45.
You're like, oh yeah. So basically, it's the equivalent of they are, they are like very sort of like recognizable, and you're like, right, I know a Thalothian. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw Thalothian get mauled to death by a Nexia once on Yavin 4.
Oh, well, how interesting. Now can we think about how we are ourselves, but also not ourselves, and how we're stuck somehow in a place that is at the center of the galaxy that we weren't before, and we got here through pink lightning, and
Okay.
I want to actually pause something. I just want to make sure that, because if you guys, it's totally fine. The servant would have just stayed here in the room to attend to your needs, but if you wanted the servant to get on that elevator, they would have.
I think we would like to talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
Understood.
Belay that order, droid. Just.
So droid servant and the droid, the servant, and the floating blue thing are all gone. Please carry on your conversation.
I think maybe we don't worry too much about what all has happened, and we've focused now on what is, because whatever this is, we must try to get through this fast as we can. I think we can agree. But I have called for the manager, which I have found is the fastest way to get things done. We complain very loud and very aggressively, and the manager comes, and then they fix the problem. Or you complain to their manager.
Well,
That's never not what's needed.
We don't know who these people are, how they're gonna react. So maybe let's not come in so hot, Eyestark. Let's have a conversation. Let's meet whoever is gonna be here with a little bit of calmness, maybe not yelling.
What could go worse? First off, I cannot yell. My voice, when I yell, my voice, I cannot yell. I can only talk in a normal voice tone. But what worse could happen than what has already happened? What do we have to lose?
Death. What, our lives? Whatever lives we have.
I have dealt with people of all social status and dangerous folks. I have much experience in this field. There is no problem. I know how to handle this. If anyone is going to be able to get what we need out of this folks, it is me. You do not know me.
You don't know me either, Eyestark. I'm sorry, boss. What?
I don't know why you got your knickers in a twist so hard. I was like, you wanted an adventure, didn't you?
It's true. But I would have liked to have stayed in my body.
You can never account for what's going to happen on these things. These ventures.
Plus,
pretty crazy.
Your easygoing nature is often a thing I like, but right now, this is not the time, my friend.
I mean, I can't change anything right now. Might as well enjoy it until I can figure out how to unfuck my body.
Well, let's try, and hopefully these people can unfuck our bodies for us.
Maybe nicer terms than that, but...
Maybe they don't know what happened to us, though. Everybody thinks we are whoever this is. She like grabs her. What are they, Leku?
Your Leku. You grab your Leku.
Careful of those. Those are
make an endurance roll.
Actually. Yeah, I was gonna say, careful of those. Those are actually pretty sensitive.
It's like, what are these things? Ah!
36.
Okay.
I don't know what. Oh, yeah, that's a hard success.
Is Lyala like? I don't want to go to this direction too quick, but
Go.
Is Lyala into pain?
Light.
Then she has a new avenue for something. Anyway, there's these things are very, very sensitive. Also, it's weird because you do it and like you realize they're prehensile. You can like move them. They're not kind of like mild tails, and you can actually sort of shift them around slightly.
I just want to tell none of y'all better touch. Nobody touch me.
Look, I have dealt
it's pretty taboo to touch the Leku.
I should clarify for you all. I know everyone is a bit on edge with this situation. I have dealt with these folks many times. Boss can attest to this. You complain loudly with the middle management, and they bring in the boss. And then you can have a nice conversation with the boss and get what we want done.
How many times have you switched bodies?
No, I have not switched bodies, but I have negotiated many deals with many high-powered people.
We don't
and oftentimes they try to push you off to the side. You have to talk to this person with the power.
We
That
don't
is
know
the
the
whole
structure of this organization.
Well,
That little
apparently-
floaty lady could have been the boss. We
But she
don't
is
know.
not.
She could be in charge of this department. Who knows? I don't even know what
Can I do a-
these things are.
Can I do
I'm
a
just go back
post?
to my chair.
Can I do a post psychology roll to determine whether I knew she was not the boss or not?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, make a psychology roll. Yeah.
It would have been a success. Cindy.
A normal success.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll on her behalf. No, I gotta roll blue for her. What am I doing? I'm gonna roll on her behalf. Not, she wasn't being deceptive, but I just want to cool. Just to see if you should be like getting extra stuff. But no, she definitely is not the boss. She is a position of great power, but she is not. You would, in fact, I'll just give you. She's a major domo. You know how they act. She's definitely a major domo.
Believe me, I'm very familiar with her type. She is not in charge, but she runs things here. She will be good to get on the right side of later on, but we have to get her boss in here first. You must
Right.
She
talk to the
mentioned
person
the
in
Lord
power.
something.
What'd you say?
She mentioned the Lord something. Lord.
The Lord?
Uh,
She is like
Right-
Chancellor.
Lord
Rycliffe.
Rycliffe.
Ryloth.
Yes,
Right.
yes. That is the one we want to talk to. So we wait for him, and then we will be fine.
Can I
If
check
there
my
is an evidence
person
for success.
and just see what's on me? Do I have my weapons? So they're not there. Do I have something else on?
You are looking for weapons. Understood. You move your hands about your body. You would be new boss. Okay. So, you do find that in your pocket you have a pair of vibro knuckles.
These might come in handy.
You
Wait.
also find
My
a.
gun is not here?
We'll go. Everybody wants to know. Actually, you have a holdout blaster. That's all you have on you. It doesn't seem like anyone has none of you have heavy artillery.
Right.
And in fact,
Right.
Eisdark is the only person who's in armor. Yeah, you have some vibro knuckles in a pocket. You've got a couple little it's not even on a sheath. I'm sure you got a couple utility knives and things. You have numerous liquid-filled horns or claws rather. Make a nature roll on that.
Right.
What are your what's your specific knowledge?
The specific knowledge is I have exotic non-sapient
Yeah,
physiology.
do that. Roll that.
Right. Yeah, that's a 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
So, Boz, you look at this and you're like, I'm not sure if Rancors would have been fully discovered by this time, but you know what? Because you rolled a 1, they have been. You go, these are Rancor claws. Someone has filled Rancor claws and capped them. You've got several of them hanging.
Do I know what kind of liquid this is? So
You open them up?
that? Sure. Yeah. I'll look into it.
Okay, so you look into one. Appears to be water. The next appears to be Kath. I'm so sorry. I'm telling you the wrong body. I'm so sorry. That's what Lauke would find. Many apologies. You
Right,
don't
I'm the
find
mechanic,
those
right?
hanging. You find the vibro knuckles and a multi-tool. So sorry. Lauke, you do see that you have those things. We'll say that Boz can identify those as Rancor claws. Which
Why are
makes
you
sense.
wearing
Yeah.
Rancor clothes?
I don't even know what a Rancor is.
That is
It's
a-
all right. It's a big thing. It's really great. Don't worry about it.
Do
This
you
is
think
a-
that's a
It's a
Sith?
prized hunting trophy right there.
The Rancor was a very big
Oh.
beastie that kills and eats lots of things.
Is a Sith an animal?
Oh, I don't know. Do I know? I don't
Never
know
heard
what
of
a
it.
Sith is, right?
Never heard of one.
That's
Eisdark,
a good one.
you also, strictly speaking, actually, I take that back. Eisdark and Boz, you can both roll. You need extreme successes on culture, on history, to know about to have heard of Sith.
Would we not have in our?
Could it be Trandoshan history?
Would not be Trandoshan history. Sure, an extreme success on normal history, not
No.
Chiss history.
I will use 1 point of luck to turn my 11 into a 10 and get an extreme success.
Wow, that's great. Then in that case, and for the record, the only weapon you have on you is a holdout.
And I do not see my family rifle here.
You don't see your rifle.
I
I
will.
just want to start moving around in his body, try and get like a feel for if I'm a different height, even how it is to move around.
You guys can certainly kind of like try to like adjust to these things. So make sure you and remember, anybody click anything you succeed on. Lauke and Lyala, if you guys tried to do, you get extreme successes.
I got a success, just a regular.
Yeah, you never heard of
Do I still check it?
Sure, you did succeed. That's fine. Izdar.
Oh,
As it turns out, you have heard of rumors of something called the Sith. You know that several years ago, yeah, you were 5,000 years before.
Great.
About 1,000 or 2,000 years ago from what your time was, you know that the Jedi had some big schism. And some of the Jedi left somewhere, and about a couple hundred years after that, there were rumors that they were living among the Sith, which was a species that was like one of the most obscure, like not known species, kind of way out in the Outer Rim.
I will relay this information to the group, and then I will also just say, I know this. My referee is not here. I assume for the two of you, your primary concern would be about your ship.
I think the bodies would come first.
Yeah.
Well, yes, of course, that is the first thing, but we
But
must
another
know
is the most important. That is my brother, in spite of how we look.
inside
currently.
in any negotiation, it is very important that we understand the primary goals that we wish to achieve and that our opponents wish to achieve. And this
If
is what
the
I'm
ship-
trying to figure out.
If the ship is here, then absolutely. But like I said, we are nowhere near where we left off, which was the middle of nowhere, and now we're in the middle of somewhere. So
Right.
we should probably figure out where we
We're
are.
certainly not in between systems anymore if we can see a planet out the window.
It's true. You make a very good point. We shall have to wait and see what the Lord says.
I have a question for the DM.
Sure,
of the-
boss.
the living force. I have a new sense called tendrils.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
You can use your tendrils. If you look at the document, it's under the bio facets. I should have added that to your facets as well. Your tendrils is pretty weird. Basically, you can use them to like learn some stuff. Just like about it. It's honestly, to be a scout with them is amazing because it tells you like the primary flora and fauna and within like a 10-kilometer range. On a spaceship, it's less useful. Go ahead and make a tendrils roll as you try to use them.
Right. 15. Wow. All right.
At
That's a
this
hard
point,
success.
untrained, like doing it for the first time, the main sense you get is just about like the pollution and filtration levels of this. Like it's basically you're feeling and like sensing just particulate matter kind of at a long distance.
I think
And
that's
the
just
ship
direct my whole
seems
body.
pretty clean for a spaceship.
Can we look around the room for any other would-be clues or useful nuggets?
Certainly. There's, I mean, yeah. Go ahead and just make a look roll.
A hard success.
You don't. This seems to be a dining room, like primarily a dining room. There are a couple of computer access ports, kind of like over by the side of that door. But for the most part, this just seems to be a very nice chamber in which to dine. A hard success, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but you wouldn't have noticed this earlier. If you look very, we'll say that you're kind of spending your time looking at everything. You notice that in those stone chairs that you're all sitting in, there seem to be these strange little seams of an amber-colored crystal. But as far as you can tell, that's just decor, and you never saw them because you passed out so quick, so cool. Little threaded it in there. Yes, Lyala.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say, do I recognize them, but I didn't look at them.
You
so.
haven't looked around. So basically, he's kind of looked around, but it honestly would just look like artwork to you. But we'll say that everyone takes a few minutes kind of adjusting to their bodies, and like the 6 fingers are hard, eyes dark for sure. Everything's hard here. But after a few moments, oh no, shoot, I have to roll something.
Well, Icedark would definitely like to ask everybody if there's anything that you are particularly interested in acquiring. This is what I do for a living, is diplomacy. I negotiate for a living. So have faith that I will do what we need to do and do it well.
I just
Boss
like a
can-
way off this place.
Both
Body-
can attest to this.
Body and ship.
He is pretty good.
Body and ship. Both is indifferent to most, but body would be nice, yes?
I mean, maybe these things might be really handy, actually.
You never fail to impress me.
I know.
Okay, we have an understanding then. We shall see what we can do.
Someone's coming up the lift.
I would like
just
to
kinda-
straighten myself up and become presentable.
I
Wait.
just slip my hands in my pockets where I got the Byron knuckles, just in case.
The doors open. There is a servant standing there. The servant looks up. Gold mask. The servant takes a few steps into the room. Looks at all of you. Pulls a small bell, like a musical bell, out of their pocket. Tosses it to doesn't matter who. Tosses it to Icedark. You try to grab it with that. Go ahead and make a fine motor skills to try to grab with 6 fingers.
Actually,
fine.
very good. This is a success.
You grab it, and you're like, oh wow, actually maybe 6 fingers is all right. This person says, "Come, find me," and then goes back into the lift, and it closes.
We all heard that?
Yes.
What the criff did that mean?
Is this normal for this part of space?
I think that there's going on this not going to be too many death sticks in there, you know what I mean?
Well, that was a surprising turn of events. I think perhaps we should just wait here for the Lord first.
What did he toss you?
Yeah, what's on that?
It's I would like to examine the bell if I can.
Absolutely. Make a culture roll.
Is it culture check?
Mhm.
That is a 92. I failed.
You're like it must be a weird ship part. It's so irritating how it jangles in such a like sonorous way.
No. What can I do to make that a success? What do I have to do?
You could spend a
Do I
force
use
point
a-
to reroll, or you could just wait a little bit, or you could toss it to somebody else and let them try.
I get my force points. You know what? I'll toss it to Leala. She seems very insightful in these things. Maybe you can tell me. I do not. I am not sure.
Lyala, make a culture check.
All right. What is my score?
This I cannot help you with. Actually, I can. I can look it up. Your culture's 20.
Oh, no, I failed. But cultural analysis based on weaponry and tactics.
If this is you, I will say you think this is a very bad weapon. Probably to the point that it's not a weapon. As you all continue sort of thinking for a little while here. Some time passes. Once again, the lift activates. Somebody's coming up.
Oh boy.
I take my position again, ready to discuss the Lord.
The doors part. You see standing before you a handsome human man, black hair, sort of long back, olive skin. He wears a black cloak with a red trim on the interior, a black suit with a white shirt, and a gold medallion hanging from a red ribbon. He looks at you all and says, "Good evening. I hear it is possible that you are not those I began dining with but an hour ago."
You know,
Are you the Lord of this place?
I am Lord Rive. Welcome to the blessed constellation. Though
Bless.
blessed. Yeah.
you are who I believe you are, it is possible you have been here a very, very long time.
Well,
Not
excuse
so
me?
long.
that depends who you believe we are.
Are you by any chance two members of the Chiss species? One of
like-
you is a Trandoshan, the other immune. Did you come here aboard a vessel called the Avalanche, containing a starfighter of alien design?
Hey, it's not alien, okay?
Hold on. You know who we are. Perhaps
You are
can
these
explain
individuals.
what has happened to us.
You are these individuals.
I am Isaac Struss. This is my companion, Boss Rami.
Hello.
Lyala.
This is Lyara and Lauke, associates.
Welcome back then, my friends, to the land of the living.
What?
We
Excuse me.
got
No.
That is not possible. We were very much alive when we
You
were
Well,
less asleep.
You have... This must be very disconcerting to you. I apologize. It seems to me you are handling this transition quite well.
Well, I mean, what's done is done, I suppose.
You all died. A storm, the kind most unusual, befell your vessel. Though you survived, crash landing aboard this cathedral ship, you all perished shortly thereafter.
Right.
This was a very long time ago.
How long is a very long time?
4,000 years. For
Oh.
millennia. Forgive me.
how long has it been really?
Would that I was deceiving you. But unfortunately, kind of just like goes over to the computer. History has advanced in your absence. You have my sincere condolences, but I also welcome you to a new lease on life.
Right, then, if it's been that long, how the hell did you know who we were?
My ancestor informed me, or informed us, there were notes taken of you all.
So what? Our death was
We did
special
not
or
know your
something?
names, but we knew your physiology.
So, if I understand you correctly, you are saying we are still on the cathedral ship,
Yes, you are
But-
aboard the blessed constellation.
but 4,000 years in the future.
Yes.
How is
The
such a
future
thing possible?
Well, as people in my family have said for generations, in the Force, all things are possible.
What now?
The what now?
This is a
I'm
mystery
confused.
of the Force. I am no expert.
Like inertia.
Forgive me.
Pressure.
No. The Chiss. He kind of walks over to you, Lyala. Kind of like very like, there's something incredibly magnetic about this man. He says, "Forgive me, Force, or what the Chiss call." And he leans in really close, right to your ear, and says, "The third sight." And then he kind of, he said that very quietly just to you. "This is a area of which I have no expertise, but apparently something in those ancient days. The storm that claimed your lives claimed the lives of all aboard. But those who found the ship, found record of your arrival, found your corpses."
Wait, you mean all the people aboard, even Gogol, died?
Tragically, this is the case. Or so the
Did you
stories
all
go.
continue their traditions then? Because you all seem very similarly dressed to them.
We do have Al-Sakani servants. It is a tradition from the family stretching back these millennia, yes. But I assure you, whatever it is you know about Pius Dea and the Pius Dea era and their faith, this is certainly no part of me. I enjoy the aesthetic of this vessel, but I do not adhere to its views, and you will find no Pius Dea holy symbols anywhere aboard.
Do I recognize the symbol on his medallion?
Make a lore check.
66.
Execute Order 66.
And we die.
You do not recognize
Fun
it.
game, guys. Good times. Good times.
Cool. Fujin says
That's a
new
fail.
bodies. No, it is that you are unfamiliar with that. But
Can I?
I had 2 points of note I would like to have clarified if possible. You said that our bodies were found. Are they still in existence? And you said anything is possible with this this force you speak of. So it is possible for us to go back to those bodies then.
this is not my area of expertise, but
As you have said.
I would be happy to assist you in attempting this. And yes, your bodies can be found down below in the crypts of the lower levels. I will urge you, in what feels like the second time for me, to exercise caution when venturing to the lower levels of this ship. There are things there that are open to you, but not entirely safe to go without an escort.
I have one additional question.
Please. I
Perhaps
believe
not
you
just
have
one.
more than simply this.
This is accurate, but the most immediate one that comes to my mind is that these bodies that we inhabit now, what were they doing before they fell ill, as apparently has happened?
They came here for opportunities, seemingly the same as you.
Fine opportunities.
Maybe not the same as us.
Financial, cultural, professional. I will not bore you with these details, but... or perhaps... he sort of starts walking. They came here with some darker purpose in mind. Perhaps they came here having learned of ancient stories from my family. They came here having heavily researched the past, so that they could claim they were ghosts. Come back to life.
Well, I don't know about you
So
lot,
what?
but I'm not that good of an actor.
Just what an excellent actor would say when acting like someone who is not that good of an
I mean,
actor.
you got me there.
Can I do a diplomatic mission?
On this individual, you can.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the thing they do. I'm just gonna let you know this person's rolling with. This is against their deception, right?
I guess so. Oh, I can re-roll.
Yeah, you may have a thing.
I rolled the same thing. It's a success, but just a normal success.
Understood. I believe it is diplomatic mission, but I'll double check here. It was a diplomatic mission. A diplomatic mission. It is against their deceive. Cool. Don't worry about how many bonuses this person rolls with their deceive. Don't worry about it.
Sounded like a lot of dice there.
There's a lot of dice. I have an extreme success. So unfortunately, you have no read on this individual in that as far as the diplomatic way. But I'll say that this person is not trying to make it. This person's kind of, indicating, or perhaps this is all a ruse by all of yous. Only time will tell. But
So-
I am very intrigued to have you here.
What of the ship?
What of the ship? Oh, the Chiss vessel.
The other absence
Well.
that we have.
Ah, those would probably be with the bodies.
Speaking of bodies,
In
why
the
why
catacombs,
these?
in the crypts? What?
Why these bodies? Why these people? Who
Oh.
are these people?
They are people. In fact, because I give you the benefit of the doubt and belief, but since I'm not sure, I will simply say you are people who have come here for a job. But as far as why you have been put into these bodies, this is not my area of expertise.
Then whose area of expert? Where's your manager?
Right, do you have like an
No,
expert on
Leila,
strange
this
magical
is-
occurrences?
This is the manager. This is
As
the
a
one
matter
who
of
talks
fact, I
Oh.
do have been in the market to find an expert on strange, dark side powers and traditions. He gestures to Eyesdark. Here he is.
Oh, perfect. Well,
That is me.
I think you might have gotten the wrong guy, mate.
That
Yeah.
is going to be a problem then. I am not going to be of any assistance in this field for you. I'm
I
not
can send a message to others, I know. Of course, but
Perhaps what we should do first is maybe we can see this ship of my friends. It is of value.
I would
Right,
like to
maybe
see
you
the.
could just show us around in general.
of course. This way, please. Let me show
And I would
you.
like-
Yes, go ahead.
I would like to see us.
Ah,
Yes, that is the next thing we should do.
you wish to venture down to the tombs.
Well, I would assume that a
Well-
host such as yourself would be gracious enough, considering the circumstances, to accompany us down there.
Considering the circumstances, it would be my honor. Come, we will. Ah, your droid. Do you wish for your droid to join you? Perhaps we should keep the droid at bay for a time, yes?
It's your pleasure. If I can.
can I feel to see if I have any weapons?
You
Like-
have a holdout blaster.
Aren't those big?
No, holdout blasters are tiny.
those are the-
Holdouts are like
oh, okay.
concealed, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should bring the droid.
You wish to bring your droid. I will mention. There are places we can bring the droid to, but when we go below, there are a few areas I would recommend we not bring the droid to.
Could you explain that a bit for us?
Yes, well, I do not believe those of you who claim to be Chiss are very familiar with droids, but there are certain fields generated down below that make droid operation less effective.
Ah. Well, that's all right. I've lived my whole life without a droid, so what's however much longer I have without one.
Also, your droid, if I can, or perhaps you in fact, and this will cause you offense for me to say, but I nearly say. What an interesting puzzle you all put me in. Are you truly the long-rumored ghosts of my family, or are you just very, very good actors?
Yeah, it must be real.
I
Must be
mean,
real tough for you.
you can ask
Waking up.
us questions, but I don't know really how to prove that kind of thing.
Nor would I. After all, I do not even know your names. But we will go. Where would you like to see first? Would you simply like to see around the ship? We
Wait
can
a
go
minute.
back.
You did you us our names. You already know our names.
No,
He
we
didn't
told
know
him our names.
He didn't know
They
your
did.
names. He knew your species.
Right, because we were all dead
Oh,
by the
that's
time I
right.
came to the ship. 4,000
But I
years
mean,
ago.
but we have introduced ourselves to you.
Indeed.
You know our names.
I mean,
you know who we
if
are.
If you're not super good with names, I could say my name again for you. But,
It is not necessary. But
Alright.
do you wish to let everyone know this, or would you rather keep this a quieter thing?
Who
who's-
else is
who's
here?
everyone?
Are there more people here that we
Well,
should
we
be
still
aware
hope
of?
that more guests will be arriving for the weekend.
For the same
And as far as
job.
my staff goes, I believe there was one member of the staff in the chamber with you, and then my major domo Milia. I can count on her discretion, and this other staff member has
As
not
soon
yet
as he says that, I just look at Leila and look like, called it.
called it
Just
major domo.
get that like,
I can be assured of this specific discretion, but if you wish for it to not be known, perhaps we should continue acting as if you are Kyra, Sanguinary, Adelard, and Doom around the rest of my staff.
Or
Which one was mine? Doom?
Doom,
Who am I?
you are Sanguinary Tembo.
It's kinda
And-
hard.
they made a comment about the way that I was talking and how she doesn't sound. Are people gonna notice that?
Many people have never even encountered you. I am simply asking if you wish for me to, when we are not among ourselves, refer to you as the names that these bodies walked in with.
Yeah. Let's be subtle about it.
I think that is the wise choice
And
of
I
action
will tell-
until we know.
I will tell Milia and any other servants who have so far heard this. So far it would just be Milia and the servant who was with you when you awoke. You have spoken to no one else.
No.
Just
I
those
don't
two.
believe so.
Good.
No, I do not
No,
believe so.
there was no one else. Mm-mm.
Aside from the droid, forgive me. Once
Yes,
again,
my-
I do not count droids. Sanguinary.
35.
You gave me quite a talking to about this. Would you like to take the lift down, or should we take the staircase?
What is
Fastest.
The lift is fastest, the staircase is more dramatic. It's how we got up there, to the enjoyment of your droid. It liked that we were getting steps and floors in. I don't understand.
Yeah, he seems to be real into activity.
He
I
does
think
seem-
we have had enough drama for one day. So
Very well,
Yes.
perhaps
perhaps
we'll take the lift down.
the lift.
So you guys take the lift. You guys can kind of get into the lift. The lift lowers. You find yourself in a very nice sort of looking hall. Everything is very kind of like cathedral-like with this kind of like polished black stone. You see that you're actually not far from a kitchen, which is open, and they are sort of making more food. And he says, well, I will tell them to put our meal on ice, as it were. Of course, if you ever desire anything, we have prepared for many more guests, so there is no shortage of any food or beverage you require. He kind of walks over. You see that Melia is sort of kind of hopping in the droid is like looking around and just kind of like, is everyone okay? Is anyone feeling too sedentary?
We're
Just peachy.
He speaks familiar to a moment. He kind of comes back over. So, did you wish to see the grand hall, the hall of glass? Did you wish to see the concourse, or would you rather go straight down?
let's.
Body.
The bodies.
Well, why don't we
Well-
try the ship?
Why don't we?
Oh, I have no idea about this ship.
I thought you said it would be with the bodies.
Yes, but I do not know. I have never opened any of the crypts.
Let us go to the bodies, please.
How big is this ship? If you've never been to Boston, if you've lived here your whole life, right?
There are areas in the tombs. Perhaps there could be the stories told me it was a fighter vessel. Yes, so it could be small enough, but I've never seen it.
What kind of captain doesn't know their whole ship?
I am not captain. I am the lord. This is a home. This is a manor house that happens to have a hyperdrive.
Right. Do you think there's like a way off this thing?
Oh, of course,
us.
there is. If you wish to leave, you are more than welcome. You came here in a vessel. What vessel? This vessel. It's like a little thing you guys can go
Alright,
more
well,
down if you so choose,
that's-
of course. You are free to go whenever you'd like.
Forgive
I
me.
mean,
But I think if we can just, it's been a long day for us. Short though it may seem, 4,000-year day. Perhaps we can just go straight to the bodies without further ado.
right,
we will
right,
go
yeah.
to the bodies and we
Oh.
will see what we find below. He picks up a candelabra and kind of like casting like light. Come.
Is it like a vibro candelabra or some bullshit like that? Or-
No, it's just straight up old fashioned
Oh, it's just a straight up candle. Okay.
candles burning flames. This way, please. He sort of ventures over.
I like the
Oh,
idea of a vibro candelabra. Just like,
What a the candles are just like
Look, they're like little lightsabers that come out. They're like just tiny lightsabers.
Yeah, exactly. He
I want a lightsaber menorah now.
hashtag dreams.
so he takes you guys down.
God.
And
what is happening?
you find yourself going to sort of various like new gates leading to a section below. He sort of pauses here and says, "As I take you down below, just know that we are venturing again to a part of the vessel that is a bit more dangerous. So, avoid wandering off on your own if you can."
Right. Do you have like weapons for us or something?
Weapon,
I mean, if it's dangerous,
not dangerous you can find.
well, that's disconcerting. All right. Well,
I-
lead the way.
Atmospheric problems, chambers that are less finished,
All right. I catch your drift.
hazards. So,
Do you have like breathers or something for us we could use?
Ghosts. Is it more ghosts? Are there other ghosts here?
do you
What do you mean,
believe in
more?
ghosts?
Well,
What do you mean,
apparently
more
we're
ghosts?
ghosts. Are you a ghost?
I mean,
Me?
I touched the floor. I don't think I'm a ghost.
He said we're ghosts that came back into these bodies. Are you a ghost?
I believe it is a expression of
Right. Yeah. I think
our
it's
souls being trapped in this
metaphorical.
place.
As you linger here,
I tug on one of her things, he thinks I'm like, you are not a ghost. And he is walking.
I'm gonna need you not to do that.
as you guys are standing here, anyone who has, in these new bodies, a hearing score of 75 or higher.
Oh, right, Zabrak.
Not in these new bodies, I don't.
Not in this one. Not in this body.
I think
Yeah.
you do. Your listen is no.
Oh, my
it's
listen
not.
is yeah.
Oh, listen.
Sorry, I was thinking of Look,
Listen.
I do have a listen of 85. So
Anybody have listen over 75, or is it only Boz Krani?
I do.
No.
Boz and cool. The two of you sort of like half perk up your ears, and in the distance, kind of resonating through this entire cathedral ship, albeit at a distance, you hear dong, 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 dong.
Is that the fucking minor key version of
It's a grandfather clock.
the grandfather clock?
Dong, 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 dong.
That's fucked up.
Dong, 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 dong.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun.
Because
You hear that loud.
The major is dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. So, the two of you hear that chiming, and he sort of...
What?
Yeah. What was that?
Oh, music of the night. The bell ringer tolls the hour.
Just breaks that in defense of the opera.
A momentous time for us to go below.
The bell ringer?
Ah, yes. One of my servants operates the bells of the cathedral ship in every hour, rings them. It is an old custom, but one we kept. I find it oddly sonorous to hear the ringing of the bells, chiming the time.
Can I try to listen in for any other strange sounds around here?
Sure, I mean, you can make a listen roll. At this point, the bells have stopped ringing.
Right, I just want to see if there's anything else strange happening sonically around here. Or at least as we move downward.
Of course. So, shall we? He opens the gate and begins leading you guys down this sort of sloping kind of like, and suddenly it is odd. You find like you are in like ancient ruins. Even the ship, it seems to be made of stone down here, and the steps are like weathered and worn. There's no light except for this that is kind of being cast by this. Now, Lyala and Lauke, you guys used to have infrared vision, and now you don't. Lyala, you still do have low light vision.
I do.
So you know, that part's nice. Our
Can I see in the door? I used to.
you cannot. No, the animate cannot, sadly, because everything's bad. So as you guys head down,
I think you need a new maintenance officer for this part of the ship.
indeed, we have not yet finished our restoration. He continues down, and you find yourself at a massive, strange concourse. Although, Boz Cramey, you said you were listening. Is that correct?
Right, yeah, I am.
What'd you roll?
Normal success.
Normal success. In the distance, you hear something big stomping around. Like behind doors, but like you hear like...
Mr. Wright, you don't have to keep any large bases down here, do you?
No. In an old ship like this, it is... well, the ear can play tricks on you. This way, to the crypts. He kind of starts walking you guys down.
Do I, with my non-sapient knowledge, understand what those footsteps sound like?
I'm gonna say with your normal success, you don't have enough detail.
All right.
You're like
sense.
it theoretically could have just been like some piece banging or something, but it just sounded in the moment like irregular enough that you were like, that sounds like something moving. As you guys carry on, this place is very eerie and very dark. It is lit only by a candle that he's carrying, not even a torch, not even like a light up droid. Although actually in your time period, that's less weird. Because like if you read those old Tales of the Jedi comics, stuff like this happens. So it's like, it's
right,
weird,
yeah.
but it's not absurd. He guides you and eventually says, in here, the family crypt.
Why do you know the way down here so well? I've been here before.
I've been to the crypts. I've never opened one of them to find what is within.
After you.
He creaks open.
I'm gonna grab Lauke's hand.
Understood.
Be startled in the darkness.
I can see a little bit.
Yeah, you have a little bit more vision. You actually
We're
do have
just
like the low light.
We're potentially about to see our bodies, all right?
He kind of takes a couple of steps in, each footstep, loud. Now. Boz. With your good hearing, you hear a whisper.
Anybody else hear that?
Do we?
Hear that? Everyone can make a listen roll if they'd like.
That whisper.
Fail.
Success.
You
I'm
hear
sorry,
nothing.
that is a success.
Success. You hear nothing.
Succeeded.
You hear nothing, Leala. But click the box. You did a good job of listening. Boz.
There's
you
like
heard
a
nothing.
strange chanting, maybe?
The chanting. I would know nothing of any. I did not hear any chanting.
Can I do a psychology on?
I would.
Yeah,
I was
you guys
thinking
can
the
do
same thing.
Go ahead and do psychology rolls on old Oz.
Somehow I think he's gonna come out
That-
on top of these.
Fail.
That is hard success.
Boz thinks he hears a voice, and he doesn't seem to be acting any crazier than any of you seem to be acting, saying that you're like in bodies and everything's insane.
I'm sorry. I wanted to examine not the Lord, not Buzz.
Oh,
Buzz,
you're
I
trying to
believe.
examine the Lord. I am
Oh
so
yes,
Yeah.
I give shits about Buzz. Buzz, I trust. I have many years' experience. With
Oh,
him.
I thought no, I understand.
We'll
I thought you guys
work
were like worried about Boz and being like, "Uh-oh, is Boz going crazy?" Understood.
Yeah, I was checking the guy, but I failed. Didn't matter.
Buzz is very crazy, but not when it comes to tracking
Right.
and listening and stuff. That is why I trust him completely.
You sense nothing but like curiosity from Lord Rythe.
Okay.
Are you? If this is too much, we can do this another day.
No, we must find the
It's all right.
Buzz.
We've waited 4,000 years already. So
Show us the proof.
He kind of he begins to like lead you guys into this large catacomb where it is a chamber filled with like kind of like stone, engraved large kind of like square, or I guess they're probably more like there's some weird shape. They're like pentagonal or trapezoids or something, but they're all arranged in a way and each one has ancient sort of writing carved on it. And he says, "We will move you away from the lords of the place to honored guests or the unknown." Ah, yes, it was back here. He sort of ventures into a darker section, kind of turning down a corridor. This way. Ah, here. He pauses. Boz, as you sort of are passing through these areas, you hear another voice in your head.
Wait.
Can I try and say back what it's saying, even if I don't understand the language?
Sure. Make a linguistics roll.
Well, I want to be like, I keep hearing this. It's saying, I don't know exactly. It sounds like something like. Alright, well, that's a 12. That's an extreme success.
I would like to try and understand what it is if I can.
Okay.
I'd like to say back what it's saying to me out loud.
You sort of say this aloud. The master sort of turns back. Eyes Dark, you hear him saying this. You do not have a, or do you have a universal translator on you? Do you happen to have one?
Well,
with
I
you?
my
do,
old
I do
character
apparently.
So basically, you're like looking and you're like, where's my universal translator? Huh. What a weird advanced universal translator. Apparently they haven't gotten better in 4,000 years, but I could do it. So go ahead and
This
make
is
your
very
words.
interesting. Can you say that one more time? I think this is how it works. Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounded a bit like Hollywood.
You do a pretty good job of recreating it. Eyesdark, make your linguistics roll. Using your own
Before I
linguistics.
do, I just go. It's not very fun to make fun of me. This is not my normal voice. I cannot always talk in a good way. Okay.
No. I'm talking about the voice in my head. I mean, the voice I'm hearing.
What am I making? A linguistic roll?
Linguistics roll using your own linguistics. Before you do it, remember you can always spend. Oh yeah, go ahead.
What can I do?
Well, you can spend, force points to like roll, to like add bonuses to things. You can also spend force points after the fact to re-roll. All that.
I think I
fun
will
stuff.
spend a bonus point to reroll. I get force points back again, right?
You do get force points back. You're gonna
Then I
re-roll.
will-
Go for it.
Yes. Because that was a critical fail, I believe.
Oh wait, well you can't do it if it's a critical fail. What was that? It was a 100.
No, it was 96.
You have a 50, right?
I do, yes.
So yes,
Oh,
it's
so it's
only
not-
a crit on 100 for you. Thank goodness.
understood.
1 point less, and that would be a crit fail, and I could do something.
Very
crazy.
bad. It's a 46, so
A success.
that is a success.
So basically, and actually, I think the way we had this for you is kind of not retcon, but like Biter, as you were like feeling around for it, it's here.
Oh,
It's in your voice box. So you sort of adjust it, and it speaks out of your voice box. Like you're not moving your mouth, but you still hear the voice talking. And the
So-
words that it says are
Stay dead, Spectre.
Oh, that does not sound good.
That is
All right. Well, that's disconcerting, to say the least.
So who's saying this?
I'm not quite sure. I just kind of keep hearing.
Boz just started saying that aloud, and now it came out of Eyestark's vocoder.
Are you
Right.
guys? You okay?
Are we getting punked or something?
But
Is our camera somewhere?
Not down
Lord
here,
Jai,
I
do you know what this is? Do you know what that was? Or what
Me.
it refers to? Yeah, you.
I know.
Who
this.
else would I be talking to? I'm 4,000 years behind on everything. Please.
So you say. I recognize the language.
Right.
So-
What might that be?
Someone, either you have come very well prepared, or some restless spirit. No, wait. Yes. He removes one candle from the candelabra and he's like offering the candelabra to all of you.
I'll
He
take
hands
it.
it to Lyala. He says, you will see them here, and he points to a line of sort of crypts. You will see them there. There is one spot I must check. I will return to you in a moment.
Wait a minute. That
You
you-
didn't
you
answer the
talk?
question.
What question?
What language and what does it mean? And
Well, the meaning
What's-
of it seems clear. It was well.
Right. What language is
It
it?
was well translated. That is a Sith tongue, my friends.
Ah.
Do you still claim not to know of the Sith, even as I speak of them?
my only understanding of the Sith is they are a people that the portion of the Jedi roomed with for a time.
An
That is my understanding.
excellent and non-anachronistic bit of knowledge you could have had, rather
We're
than
sure
quoting.
it's not an animal. We're sure. I just want to clarify.
I'm pretty sure. If it were a place,
Honestly, I do not know. I know it as
I
a people,
simply
but
wish to check the tomb of one of my ancestors who practiced these arts. Just
we
to
can't.
why don't we go to? Yeah.
convince
I don't want to
myself.
split up down here.
I
Do
do
you
not.
think he woke up too?
I do not wish for any of you to venture here. I am at home, but you are not splitting up. Stay with one another, please. But your corpses are here. I will return to you in one.
Wait. Where are the corpses? Are they right here?
He gestures to like four of the. He gestures to sort of the things, and
Okay,
he then, with a flourish of his cape, disappears down a hallway. His candle.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
That guy
This is not going to be good.
He's weird. I don't like him. I don't necessarily know if I trust him.
Eyestark immediately goes to the coffin, the places, and starts
Understood.
opening them.
So there are these four like massive stone, kind of plinths. Do any of you speak High Galactic?
Would I have spoken
Did that
High
even
Galactic?
exist in our time?
High Galactic's ancient.
Okay.
High Galactic would have been before.
That probably would have been one of my languages then as a diplomat, wouldn't it?
Go ahead. You can have High Galactic. Go ahead and put that on. Yeah.
It just seems like a more universal.
That seems it's it's the equivalent of Latin. So it's not used anymore, but it's like I could see it in because so much contracts probably have it. Also, fun fact: the Arabesh it's so dumb in Star Wars. The Arabesh is basic, which is English, written in their crazy characters. But the reason they have X wings and Y wings is that's using the High Republic alphabet, which is not English. Anyway, as you guys sort of step over there and begin sort of looking at these, Eyestark, you see these four tombs in what is, go ahead and make a look roll at them.
It is.
Oh, no, wait, I'm so sorry. Make an appraise. I'm going to allow you to appraise this. This is a reason this would actually apply.
This is an extreme success.
An extreme success.
Yes.
Understood. Eyestark.
Yes.
There is a absolute chill creeping up your spine. This bizarre animate purple spine. Well, maybe not purple inside. Maybe purple. Who knows? The point is, with absolute certainty as someone who has looked at a great many relics, these doors were carved thousands of years ago. And in High Galactic, they read, Unknown Trandoshan. May you rest in peace you found not in life. Unknown Chiss. May you rest in peace you found not in life. Unknown Chiss. Same epitaph on each one. There's another thing though with I'm gonna say with you guys standing here so close. Lyala, this would mainly be you noticing this now that you're here. Now that he's kind of gotten close enough to the wall. Throughout the vessel are those kind of like spaced somewhat evenly are those small amber crystals that you saw in that passage, twinkling in the candlelight.
Do I get any kind of feeling from them? Do I have a connection to them, or can I try to?
Yeah, what skill do you want to do?
What? Can I don't know. Is there a way that she can try to tap back into her third sight?
Roll a D100.
33.
You try. Ooh, actually, you sort of try. You focus. Make a willpower roll. That was just an odd roll.
16.
You close your eyes and you try to reach out like you did. You're not getting that feeling you would get. You're trying to look around in your memory. You're remembering what it was like to reach out, to feel the stars rather than seeing them, to see them with that extra sight, that third sight. All you see is dark. And then, before you, charging out of the darkness, a decaying Chiss woman, most of her blue flesh kind of pale and just like red eyes glowing, right into you, attacking you. Make another willpower roll.
Oh god.
This is just in her head, right? We don't.
None of you see a thing, no, unfortunately.
Great.
39. Wait, what is this again? Willpower?
Willpower, yeah. What is your willpower?
Oh, well.
It's under mental attack.
50. Oh, it's a success, a regular.
So you basically like you keep from like screaming, but you definitely like you don't like fall over, but you're like, and you open your eyes, and now you're just in this dark tube with eyes dark. Or no, you're holding the thing, and eyes dark's like reading these things out.
Are you okay?
I don't think we should open them.
Izdark points to Boz's and says, Boz. And then he points to the other two and says, those are yours. Those ones are yours.
He was so overcome he got Scottish. Yeah, exactly.
And Izdark's gonna open his crypt.
Understood.
You are
Izdark,
here.
you put your hand on the crypt. It's extremely hard. Izdark, if you're going to try to open it, you can make either a work manual labor, or I would allow a lift as well. But it really should be work manual labor.
Right.
We can do work manual labor.
I have 2 questions, actually. One, do I hear any whispers as he starts to move?
Understood.
The chest.
Make a listen roll.
All right.
I would like to use a luck point.
83,
A point of luck.
which I
Gotcha.
believe
Got it.
is a normal success.
Norm success. You don't hear anything. Just you can hear like Lyala's heart, like she's panting a little bit.
Right.
And you hear
my
this
second-
loud scraping as eyes dark. So with your luck point, that was a success.
Oh, what is it? Is it 1 point for 1 luck point? Is that how that works?
No, luck, you have to spend as many points as gets you to the number you need.
Shit. I'll do it. I'm gonna spend 9 luck points and
9
get
luck,
there.
cool. And bear in mind, you may, because you're doing this, you cannot click the work manual labor. Because
Understood.
you have not, since you used luck to succeed, it doesn't count.
Understood.
All right, so.
I want my body. I want my gun.
You start trying to pull it up. You open it part of the way. There's like just absolute like musty air, dust flowing out of it. You maybe get it like about a foot or 2 open. Lyala has the light.
Can I also get the gun out that I have out?
She pulls out a holdout blaster.
Oh, help him open.
Lock!
Trying to help him
no!
pull it. Okay.
You can't!
Lyala, are you carrying the light over so he can see inside?
I'm just peeking
No,
over his shoulder.
I'm backing away. Lock, no, I saw something. I was able to tap it back into my third sight.
Boss, please get the light so we can see what's this in here.
All right, here,
We-
you can hand it to me. You can stay back there. It's fine.
We have to see.
This is a mistake. We may not be who we were. We may not even be all together in there.
You may not be yourself, but I am me, and I must see.
Yeah, you might be rotting.
And
aggressive.
then that body is rotting. But
Wait, you mean
the gun
aggressive?
it
What do you mean
holds
aggressive?
is needed.
So, I used to be able to do this thing where I could tap into... I
Let's
know
just see.
things about certain things, and I just have really good intuition about some things, and I have really good intuition about what may be in there, and it may be horrifying and something very lethal to us.
All right,
that's
yes.
subjective because we're already dead.
All
We're
right,
undead.
how much do
don't-
I believe this?
Of course, the mechanic knows so much about this situation. Can you
don't
trust
know
me,
nothing
please?
About me.
We have to see it.
Boss, please, can you
Come
get the
on.
lights?
Fine, take it.
All right, I mean,
It's
no
not a good
disrespect,
idea.
But, all right.
So, with Lyala
Well,
standing back, holding a holdout blaster.
I'm gonna peek over Izdark's shoulder.
All right.
Turn the light on.
And helping him move it.
Oh, it was
Eyes
a candle,
dark.
though, wasn't it?
I'm gonna
It's
hold
a
the
can- it's a
candle over his
candelabra.
shoulder.
Okay.
It's Eyes Dark and Lauke pulling the tomb open, and Boz holding a candelabra. On that tableau, we're gonna end tonight's session.
Oh, I can't believe you were like, oh, you're not in the horror game. I'm like,
well,
fuck you.
I have an answer locked and loaded to that. You're not in the horror game from a certain point of view. You are luminous beings, and they are crude matter. Don't worry about it. Thank you all.
I'm curious what the fuck is gonna happen to that.
Thank you all so much for watching this.
We're going to die. That's the only thing that's going to happen to us that I'm sure
I
of.
meant the other game.
Well, I'll phrase it like this. You should watch tomorrow night's game. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's Crude Matter Session 2 is tomorrow night at 7:30 here on the Long Lost Lord Twitch. Check that out, and then please visit us next week to see how things progress for our 4 displaced travelers, Lyala, Lauke, Eyesdark, and Boz. I also want to say I'm sorry to my players, but what's going on is so exciting. I'll tell you off stream a couple of things I'm legit sorry about just because of tensions and things, but I'm so excited about this. This is going to be so fun. We also have other fun games on Tuesdays. We have Gray in the Dark, our noir game, and that's also going crazy right now. And then on there's some shenanigans going on in that game. And then on Fridays, if this hasn't been enough horror tinged sci-fi for you, Blood from a Stone is on Rocket Base 95, and it's rad. And they wrapped up trapped in a room with killer robots after them. So there's so many ways to die in space. Which is my favorite thing about it. I want to say thanks everybody for watching. Please follow our channel or subscribe if you can, and you do get a free subscription if you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. All that fun stuff, but you have to do it every month, etc., etc. We have go to our About page to find out about our wonderful players. Go to our socials page to follow us on social on TikTok and Instagram, Long Lost Lore, at Long Lost Lore RPG, all that fun stuff. But until next time, and with apologies to these players, and a promise that it's gonna get good. I will close by saying, as we do on this game, thank you all for watching, and the Force will be with you always. Good night.
Unless you're playing.
Then you die.
Oh, it's still with you. It's just with you in a different way.
We'll be Force ghosts. It's fine.